Hey guys, it's Nat and today I'm coming to you with the beginning of the year tag. So I got inspired to do this by Jess from Peace Love Books, and this is basically just a tag, a book tag at that, with 18 questions, and you're just saying what you're excited for the new year, so 2025, things you're going to leave behind in 2024, and just books you're excited to read, authors you're going to avoid. So yeah, without further ado, let's just get on into the questions because there's so many. So question number 1 is, how many books are you planning on reading in 2025? So originally I remember in one of my videos saying that my new goal for the new year will be 50 books. I think last year I had 20 something or maybe 30 something, and I did surpass my goal. But like, I was reflecting and I was watching some people's videos about their goals and their just reading journeys, and I decided to actually put my goal at 25 books. 2025 is a year that I'm going into without any plan. I don't know how my life is going to change, and also I don't want reading to become a stress for me. For the past year or 2 years, I found reading to be a great form of escapism and just enriching my life. And yeah, I just want to continue to focus on quality over quantity as well. Last year, I was kind of binging books just because I wanted to seem like I read more. I read some books that I knew I wasn't gonna like, but I knew I could get through really quickly, which sounds really dumb, but I don't want to be doing that this year. So 25 books, definitely probably surpass that because I'm already doing really great. It's already January 22nd and I have already read quite a few books that I've really enjoyed, but yeah, 25 books, quality over quantity. That was a very long answer, I'm sorry. Number 2, a book that you would like to reread this year. So I actually have 3 books. Sometimes, actually usually, I don't really plan out my rereads. I just reread something I'm in the mood for. But the first book is gonna be, no surprise, if you saw, I did end up rereading last year Goblet of Fire, so Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire by J.K. Rowling. So this year I will probably get to Order of the Phoenix. We'll see. I'm in no rush because Order of the Phoenix is a long one and also it wrecks me. But the other 2 books that I really want to reread I actually have in physical form. So the first one is Welcome to the Hyunam-dong Bookshop by Hwang Bo-reum, and it's translated by Shanna Tan. I read this back in 2023. Absolutely love this book. It's a very slow-paced book set in Korea. It's about this woman that I believe gets divorced and she just wants to finally open up a bookshop. So she does, and it basically follows her and the people that either frequent her bookshop or work for her, and it's just about slow living, and it's like one of those cozy slice of life stories. This did take me a while to read, I remember, but I did tab it because I just really resonated with a lot of the quotes in this book, a lot of the parts in this book. I want to reread it. This time around I'm gonna do more damage to the book by highlighting, because last time I just tabbed it because I didn't know if I was gonna like it or not, but I know I love this book, so that's why I want to reread this one. And then another book that I want to reread, I think I also read in 2023, and it is The Red Palace by June He. This is one of my all-time favorite books. When I first read this, I borrowed my friend's copy because she actually recommended me this book, so thanks Anze. But yeah, I ended up loving it so much and I kept thinking about the book. I was like, you know what, I'm gonna get my own copy, but I still haven't reread it because my original plan from the get-go when I bought this copy was to annotate this book. So The Red Palace is about Hyun, who is 17 years old. She's been training to become a palace nurse in the 1758 Joseon dynasty period, and it is very dangerous to work at the palace because a lot of people die. It's like a lot of people think that the Crown Prince is the one doing the killing, so you can't really do anything about that. But Hyun does end up teaming up with an investigator to try and figure out who is actually causing these deaths, if it is the Crown Prince, and like just trying to uncover who maybe might be next, and just to protect everyone else that's still alive. Yeah, this was really, really good. This is my favorite June Her book, and I've read 2.5 by her, but yeah, highly recommend, and I really want to reread this. Number 3 is a priority read on your TBR for 2025. So I have a lot of priority reads. I will leave a link to my video of my most anticipated books of 2025 because majority of those are priority reads. Just really want to stay on top of the books I'm really looking forward to that are coming out this year so I don't fall behind. But I do also want to read a lot of books that are on my backlist. So 2 series that I've already talked about in one of my videos are, we have the Fae Isle series by Lizette Marshall. So right now, actually no, since starting the year I had Lord of Golden Glory to read. Spoiler alert, I have read it, so you'll hear my thoughts about the book in my January wrap up. Then you have Ruins of Sea and Souls, which is the 3rd book. I'm currently reading this one. Queens of Mist and Madness, which is the 4th book. In Love and War, which is a novella between the 4th and the 5th book. And 5th book is With Wing and Claw. That is the final book. But there is also a prequel that is called Heart of Silk and Shadows. Originally, I wasn't going to pick up the novellas. I rarely pick up novellas in series, but for this one, I really like the characters that the novellas follow, so I decided to throw them in there. All these books, this whole series is on Kindle Unlimited, so might as well take advantage of what is being offered by reading all the books set in this world. And then we have the Black Witch Chronicles by Laurie Forrest. So I have only read the first 2 books. So we have the 3rd book, which is called The Shadow Wand. Then we have the 4th book, which is The Demon Tide, and the 5th book, The Dryad Storm. I think this one also has some novellas, but with this one, I'm not really bothered about the novellas at the moment. So only 3 books in that series. Number 4, an author you won't be reading more books from this year. I actually have none that I can think of. I don't want to avoid any authors because sometimes I don't like an author's work until they write like a story that is perfect for me. So I don't want to say any author just because, you know, they might release a story and I'm like, I really want to read that. So none. Number 5 is something new you want to read of. So this is new genre or new tropes. The only thing I could think of is to read more horror. I feel like I got into horror last year by reading just 2 books. So I definitely want to read more horror books. If you have any great horror recommendations, let me know down in the comments below, as I would love to know. I will be definitely reading more of Stephen King, and there's a lot of great horror books that are being released that I found out after I filmed my most anticipated books of 2025. So I added a lot of those to my Goodreads, but I can't think of any tropes. I am tempted to read a little bit more of dark romance because I did try the genre in the past, but I didn't really enjoy it. But I did read one book at the beginning of this year that kind of makes me want to try out a little bit more before I say, yeah, dark romance is not for me. Number 6, a popular book that you want to read. So for me, that is Abby Jimenez books, especially the Part of Your World series. So I actually have that book because it was 99p on Kindle, and I have the 3rd book, which is called Just for the Summer. I picked that up as an audiobook on Audible, and oh my god, I'm really enjoying it. I just want to know why Abby Jimenez is so popular. I can already kind of tell from Just for the Summer, even though I'm still like maybe less than 10% into the book. So a popular author that I want to read from is Abby Jimenez, but the book I'm mostly looking forward to of hers is Just for the Summer. Number 7, most anticipated 2025 book release. I have a lot. Again, check out the link to the most anticipated books of 2025 2025 video that I did, but the one book that I'm really looking forward to is Rewind It Back by Liz Tomfordy. Just for the past maybe year, 2 years that I started reading from Liz Tomfordy, she hasn't really disappointed me. The hype for her books is well deserved, so I'm really looking forward to Rewind It Back. Number 8, a bookish goal for 2025. For me, that is actually to read at least one book with a book club. And I kind of noticed I haven't done a buddy read in years. Like, I don't know, the last time I remember buddy reading a book was Wallbanger, because one girl that I did my buddy read with reminded me that the movie was coming out like 2 years ago, and she reminded me that we buddy read the book. Like, I could not remember, but I loved that book, and it was a lot of fun having someone to talk to that was also experiencing the book for the first time with me. And I also, because I actually signed up at the end of the year for both Storygraph and Fable, so now I'm on 3 bookish platforms. So on Fable it's very easy to see which books that you already have saved as one to read, or you might have on your TBR, like physically, or on ebook, like what book club is reading what book. So I keep getting notifications like, this book club is about to start this book on your TBR. It's making me more excited to start reading these books. So I just need to sit down, try and figure out which book I want to read with what book club, and then finally do it. Number 9 is a book that's been on your TBR that you probably won't ever read. And usually I just try and, like, if it's on my Kindle, delete the book or just return it to Kindle Unlimited. If it's a physical book that I have, sell it, donate it, just get it out of my mind and out of my sight. But one book that I still have on my Kindle that I might pick up, but nowhere near soon, it's not a priority, is The Soulmate Equation by Christina Lauren. I did actually start this book a while back and I could not get into it. If I had read this book, it would have been my first Christina Lauren book, but I don't know. Have you guys read The Soulmate Equation? Do you think I should continue? Am I gonna get into it? I don't know, but maybe I will never read this. Number 10, a series you want to read this year. So I already talked about the 2 series that I want to read, but there is also a duology that I want to read, and it is called The Shepherd King Duology by Rachel Gillig. So that is One Dark Window and Two Twisted Crowns. This is a very popular duology. I really want to read it because the synopsis of the first book really intrigues me, so hopefully I get around to it this year. 11, your autobuy authors going into 2025. So I have two authors I already kind of talked about as well in my previous, I think the last book tag that I did, but it is Stephanie Archer and Rebecca Genshak. I actually really enjoyed the romance releases these 2 authors have released, so I want to read more from them. Anything they release I'm bound to pick up, especially because I think all of their books are on Kindle Unlimited. Number 12, a book to show adaptation you're excited about this year. I actually don't keep track because typically I don't watch shows that have been adapted that often. I used to do it in the past, but like with The Witcher, I love the Witcher series. Have I continued with the seasons? No. I think I'm either on season 2 or season 3. I don't know. But I just don't pay attention. I just usually wait to see what comes out and then I watch it if it looks interesting. Number 13, a sequel you're anticipating, Rebel Witch by Kristen Ciccarelli. So this is the second and last book in the Crimson Moth duology. It's coming out on the 18th of February of this year, so the wait is not long, but I'm so excited because I really need to see how this duology ends. Number 14, bookish things you're leaving behind in 2024. So for me, that is romance books that I just pick up just because. Last year, there were a lot of books that I ended up not really enjoying, or they were just average. So I don't even remember what the plot is about, who the characters were, and actually like reading the book. So I want to only pick up romance books that I'm actually interested in the plot. I trust the authors. Like, I'm still open to trying new romance authors, but I want to read romance books that I'm actually actually excited about and that make me giggle and are swoon worthy. So I don't want to be reading any mediocre, forgettable romance books. 15, what to expect from this account. So I do want to continue being active in the bookish community on YouTube. I used to really enjoy it back in the day. I think I started in 2016, 2017. Then I kind of fell off it in 2020 when the pandemic happened. And then I did try and pick it back up. I don't know if it's doing any well, but I do want to, as I said, make bookish content, continue to share my love of reading, but I do want to sprinkle in there some lifestyle stuff. I'm still very much enjoying watching lifestyle content and I want to make my own. I just need to figure out how much I want to share and what kind of lifestyle content I want to make. But I also want to keep doing reading vlogs, maybe not every week, like filming. I want to take breaks, but quite frequently. So yeah, that is what you can expect from this channel. 16, how has your reading taste evolved from last year? So I think my reading taste has evolved by me rarely picking up fantasy books, which I do want to fix because I miss reading fantasy, but I need to be very selective with the fantasy that I read. I don't want to be reading mediocre. I want to read like stuff like Brandon Sanderson, because I sometimes keep thinking about Elantris and like the Mistborn trilogy, and I get excited when I see in people's thumbnails or just people posting about like Brandon Sanderson and like the high fantasy with sometimes a little sprinkle of romance. So I want to read that kind of fantasy again. I also have noticed that I've picked up more mystery and horror books. I used to always love reading crime. One of my favorite authors for a long time now, I think since university, has been Chris Carter, who writes really graphic crime novels, but I'm picking up more like light-hearted mystery thrillers, if that's even a thing, like Frida McFadden and stuff like that. And also I'm trying to add more horror books into my reading, so that's how my reading taste has evolved. It's not just one genre, it's like a wide range of genres that I read now. Number 17, booktube creators who inspire you. So I only actually have 3 because I don't watch too much bookish content. I'm trying to get back into it, but 3 booktubers that I've been watching for a while, or like I always go back to. First one being Chandler Ainsley. She's my go-to. I get a lot of romance and just all types of book recommendations from her. I also love watching her lifestyle stuff because she does have a second channel called Chan. Yeah, I just love that girl. She inspires me. She's very honest and I don't know, I feel very connected to her. Then we have Peace Love Book, so Jess. I really like Jess and how she like just reads a lot of like books, and she mostly enjoys all the books that she reads. I don't know, she makes me excited to always pick up books as well. And then we have Liv from Liv's Library. I love her cozy vibes. She reads a lot of mysteries, so hopefully I'll be getting more recommendations from her on what to pick up from that genre. But yeah, if you have any bookish creators that you think I would enjoy, let me know down below, as I'm always looking for new people to watch. I've been adding more people to my watch list. I just need to sit down and finally watch the videos. And last question, number 18, is something you want to say to anyone wanting to start a bookish account. I would say just do it, which is what most people say. And something I'm telling myself is don't get discouraged by the low view count. You will build up an audience if you post frequently and mostly consistently. Like, you have to be consistent. I used to get decent views for my bookish content back in the day because I did it frequently and I was just very excited to talk about books. So I just need to get back into that. Not that I'm not excited to talk about books, like I keep coming back to this because I do love talking about books. It's just, yeah, do keep posting frequently as well, but don't force yourself to post. If you have an off week or an off month, take a break. Your audience who love you will be there for you. Like with my favorite creators in general, if I notice that I haven't seen a video of theirs in my subscription box, like I'm not thinking, oh yeah, I'm gonna unfollow them because they're not being frequent posters. I literally just think, I hope they're okay and I hope they post something soon because I miss them. So yeah, don't feel bad if you're going through a hard time or you're busy. Just post whenever you want and you will grow a nice community here with people who you can talk about books with. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. If you've watched this and you haven't done this tag, then I hope this encourages you to do this tag, as it was a lot of fun answering these questions. Thank you so much for watching. If you stayed until the end, I really appreciate you, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye guys.